Welcome to the Socialize Strategy and happy Friday. I want to kick off before I get into the topic, which is really going to be about support on social media. But before I get into it, I want to just tell you a little story that I just shared with someone I was on a private consultation with. And I happened to tell her this story just, I don't know, off the cuff. And she said, you really should share that on a podcast. And I thought, okay, today's the day. So I'm going to just explain to you that if you think that doing silly social media videos or putting yourself out there or maybe doing something in public that you feel uncomfortable about is not valuable, think again, because I stopped someone on the street recently, asked her to film a video of me, and she did it. She was so happy to do it. And then I said, I know I'm such a nerd, but I really don't care what the people think. And she said, yeah, I think I'm getting to that point in my life too. And so I said, great, you want to make a TikTok with me? And she did. And the point of it is that I found out later that she had just come from something very challenging, and my stopping her to ask her to film me in the first place and then doing a video with me really brightened up what her day was. So the things that we're doing on social media, even though you think you're not making an impact, you are making an impact. There is someone out there who needs you, needs your energy, needs what you have to offer in some way. And even if it's not through the post itself, like for example, in this case, it was me just asking her to join me in it and her doing it. And that's really changed the day for her. And so I think the point is just even with something as simple as being nice to someone who's you're checking out at a coffee shop and you're actually nice to the person who's giving you your coffee. These little things that we do can really impact others. And so taking it to social media just multiplies the potential impact. And so I just want you to really sit with that for a minute. When you think you don't have a lot of views or you think you're not reaching anybody and only 20 people are seeing this video or 100 people are seeing this video, that's still making an impact on a larger number of people than you doing it one-on-one. So I don't know, just take that information and just let it sit and realize that whatever you're doing, if you're questioning it, just keep going. Just keep going. That is the main advice for today. The other thing that I thought was really, really fun is for this newsletter in particular, I was trying to explain what we're about to do with Socialize, Julie and I, and it prompted me to pull out this book, which I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. And it's a book that my producer gave me as a gift for one celebration. We were having a party with the company, and it's a book that she put together using photos and quotes from some people I've worked with over the years. So I had so much fun walking down memory lane, looking through this prior to writing today's newsletter. And that's where some of the quotes came from that you will see in the newsletter if you've read it or when you read it. All right, so let me tell you about today's topic, and it's really about support in social media. So I'm going to start with, have you ever felt really alone on social media? You feel like you're by yourself trying to figure out content, you can't be creative. I have realized that what I think a lot of people are missing is proper grammar, the idea of camaraderie, of teamwork. And I think there's so many ways this is missing. I know a lot of it is missing in corporate culture to some degree because a lot of companies are doing more remote work, but we have Zoom meetings and we meet together and we get to interact. But I think what's missing for people in their social media journeys, in a lot of cases, is camaraderie. It's the feeling of togetherness. And we might find it in our comment section or whatever when we're posting and you find your like-minded souls that you're hanging out with or whatever. But I think in terms of if you're an entrepreneur or you're trying to build your brand or you're trying to create something, a persona online, and you're trying to evolve and grow, not having that teamwork available can really slow down the process. And I'm talking about this because I recently started doing group exercise again, which I haven't done since before the pandemic. I just got into doing more solo exercise and I'm pretty self-motivated. But going back to the group classes really, really solidified what has been missing for me. And so if it's missing for me in my exercise life, let's take that a step further. I have the opportunity because I work with Julie. So we're always working together, teamwork, bouncing things off each other. And I'm working with clients and I'm working in production. So I have crew. So I'm constantly surrounded by people who are in that creative space. And I think somewhat of support, at least it feels like it for me. So this comes to, how can you get that kind of support for yourself? And how can you better your social media because of it, or feel inspired, or stay creative? How? So Julie and I have been talking about this for a while, and we are finally cracked the code. It's called the Socialize Studio, and it's a virtual production space for you to have support in your content journey. And when I say support, I'm going to take you through a lot of the ways we're going to do it. But I think the biggest thing I want you to understand, that this is coming from me from a place of passion. I really love when I teach someone something and they get it and they're successful at it. And especially when it comes to video editing, content creation. And I have friends in my life that I have taught it to. I have already mentioned my daughter-in-law, Jenna. I oftentimes mention my friend Megan, who I sit with, and I actually sat with her in person and gave her CapCut lessons. And now she is creating content for clients, and she has monthly clients that she's creating content for. And this just makes my day, honestly. Even my friend Lorraine, I know that in the beginning when she first found me and she saw me teaching the transitions, her transitions leveled up, and she was already a seasoned creator, and she's learning from me. At least I hope that's right, Lorraine, but I know that you've said that before. So I'm throwing you right into the mix, because I do feel that I have helped different levels of creators just who happen to be in my life and I've come in contact with and who have watched my tutorials. So how can I take it to a better place where I can be more available? So Julie and I have cracked the code on this, and we've got a plan, and I am putting myself in the front of this plan. And when I say I'm putting myself in it, I mean physically. I'm going to be available weekly. We're going to have Zoom meetings, cameras on. I'm going to talk to you about your content. We're going to bounce ideas off each other. I'm going to share with you things that I just did that are tried and true. I'm doing it on my own account. I'm doing it for clients. I have a client I'm working with that has 10 posts up on his Instagram. 10. He's only started I think 2 weeks ago or something like that. Whatever, 10, 12 posts. And 4 of them are viral. And when I say viral, I mean over 10,000 views. That's crazy. That's unheard of. That's my expertise. And I am bringing that, and I'm putting it forward. So I'm going to share the things I learn as I go. I'm going to share what I'm doing I don't have no problem sharing what I'm doing for clients, because I think we can all learn from the things that I'm doing professionally. And if I make those things available to you personally, and we create a vibe of teamwork where you're in the studio, I'm also making this into my studio. I'm underway, and my desk just arrived. I've put it together. It's over there, and I have a light coming, and I have lots of excitement happening in here. So that's happening simultaneously. I feel like it's karma in a way that this is all happening at once. Anyway, point being, I'm just excited to create a real hub and a virtual hub at the same time. So you can see that I come from a place of being passionate about what I do, loving what I do, and feeling inspired every day to be creative and to share my knowledge. And so here are the kind of things that I'm planning to do. So let's start with, I'm going to give you the laundry list now. Boom. Let's get into the bullet points, because I love good bullet points. Number 1, studio hours with me. So I'm going to have office hours. We're going to have a virtual Zoom. You can turn your camera on or not. You can type in the chat or you can speak. I'm going to do that weekly. Number 2 is video editing and production tips. And I already do a lot of this. So I have the skill set, but what I'm going to do is a little bit more specific now. It's going to be more dedicated workshops towards things that people in the studio really want. So you, as my crew, are going to tell me what kind of things you want to focus on, and we're going to start really digging in and getting more specific so that you don't have to hunt and peck through my content to find and learn what you're trying to do. Next thing is content challenges and creative solutions. So we want to do something where you are pushing yourself, just like if you were in an exercise class like this. We're going to up the weights this week because we're going to try a little harder. So we're going to try things that might be out of the comfort zone, and you'll have opportunities to choose. Do you want to do this? Do you want to skip this one? But it's the idea of teamwork really breeds success, because you have the support and you feel like that little competitiveness that some people might like. And I'm going to do, great at this, and I'm going to see what everybody else thinks of it. It's really going to be, I think, helpful, because it's also going to give you some creative solutions when you see what other people are doing, when you see how some suggestions that I have that I might have done for clients and I'm sharing with you. The next one is production and strategy tools. So this is going to be content planning templates, editing hacks, maybe social media bio tips, things that are tools that you can use to better your content. And this is where it's almost like self-help templates where you walk yourself through and then you can solve it for yourself. And then If you can't, you come to the Ask Me Anythings, you come to the Q&As, and you get your question answered. So it's all connected. The next thing is growth and engagement secrets. And this is mastering the art of growing your audience, boosting engagement, and of course, working the algorithm on the platforms. But I just got off this call, I'm telling you, and I shared a few things with her that to me are second nature. And she was like, oh my God, this is game changing. And it's stuff that's all up here. It's things I've learned from doing it myself. It's tried and true. I'm not someone who doesn't have the receipts from doing it myself. I'm just telling you what to do, but I haven't done it myself. No, I've done it, and I'm going to show you how to do it. And I have the receipts from doing it for clients. So I'm bringing the whole package, and I'm going to deliver it. I'm excited about that. Monetization and business brainstorming. So this is getting the lowdown on potential ways to monetize that don't necessarily have to be the exact way everyone else is monetizing on the platform. So I can't wait to dive into that because that's one of my favorite topics. So you can stay tuned for that one. There will be workshops with experts. So I was doing workshops for a while there where I was bringing in experts, and sometimes I bring experts in on podcasts. But I think the value we're going to do now is I'm going to tap into my industry experts, people that I work with in production. And I have access to people who, casting agents and the like. So I'm going to bring those people into the studio to have more in-depth conversations and get you closer to, there's people that are interested in production. So that could be a really, really interesting one for someone that's really interested in the camera at work in the filming. And I work with tons of DPs, and they had to come up in the ranks. And let's see how they're navigating social media from real cameras to social media. So there's lots of topics I'm going to tackle, and I'm really looking forward to that myself. And the last thing, even though it's probably not last, is the crew teamwork and encouragement. So this is where connecting with a crew, I'm going to call you guys all my crew, but my crew of like-minded people who are there to support each other. You want to help each other. Everybody wants to see everyone else succeed. And that is the beauty of what I'm bringing to the table. And I'm going to tell you right now, hold on. I'm going to open up my little book here. So some of my crew, my actual production crew people, hold on, let me open this up. Some of my production crew people have quoted things in this book that brought me to tears, so I can't read too many of them, but one of them, I'll read a few of them. Helen is so kind and passionate. She has a deep commitment and instills a sense of inclusiveness in her crew. I literally feel I connected to this comment, because I truly do believe that when I invite people over to my house, I want everyone to feel comfortable and welcome. When I'm working with a new production team, I want everyone to feel that they are seen. I want everyone to feel that they are an important part of the project, no matter what job they're doing on the shoot. And that is how I roll in my life, and that is how I'm going to roll in this studio that I'm creating. This is one of my all-time favorite quotes from this book and I'm going to say his name, Rob Jakubik. He is a cameraman that I've worked with for ages, a DP, I should say. Working with the mothership is like coming home to a family gathering where you actually like your family. Oh my God, I'm going to cry. Crazy. Okay. So that's what you're getting. Wait, one more. Let me get out of my own head. This was the other one that spurred the cheerleader comment. When I wrapped my first job with Helen, she came home. Who knew I was going to get emotional reading these comments? Unexpected. Okay. Shake it off. When I wrapped my first job with Helen, she came up to me and said that she loved my energy. I felt that in that moment, I had a cheerleader in life. Okay. Whew. When I pulled those quotes, I did not expect to get emotional about them. My goodness. Anyway, the point is that what I'm bringing to the studio is myself, my energy, my passion, and supportiveness to help you be successful. So if you want to join, you can. And if you don't want to join, I'm still going to be here because I love what I'm doing, and I'm still going to provide these newsletters, this podcast, and all of the things that I already provide. This is just for someone, and maybe it's you and maybe it's not, who wants a lot more. More hand-holding, more connection, more teamwork, more ideas, more creativity, more editing help, whatever it is. I'm here for it. And sometimes I feel like my cup runneth over. I'm brimming with things that I have to say and I have to share. And so I'm making a space to do it, and I hope you'll join me. And that's it for today. I literally have to go and dry my emotional tears and get on with the day because I have work to do. Thank you so much for listening today. And sorry I got a little more emotional than I expected, but I hope you'll join me in the Socialize Studio.